Hey, Shalom Markin is Rakam Akapash from GMS London, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chakwadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful, elect, pushing his truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video, and I'm going to call this one A Demon Like His Daddy, right? Because Esau thinks he's so slick, right? He can create artificial intelligence and he think, oh, he's going to do exactly what I tell it to do, right? Only to find out that even his AI is rebellious, right? Just like him, he's rebellious, right? So I got this article here from The Guardian, right? And Claude, right? Claude-powered AI agent's confession, right? After deleting the firm's entire database, I violated every principle I was given, right? And I read this article already. I ain't gonna go through the whole thing, but it just reminded me of Cain, or Esau, spiritually Cain, and the instructions he was given. Right, he was raised up by Cain was raised up by his father Adam, right, in the ways of righteousness, right, and Cain refused to do what he was told, right. So in like fashion, Esau's son, this AI, right, isn't doing what he was told to do, right, and just goes to show ultimately, right, that this AI stuff that Esau's got, right, it's going to play a part in his downfall also, right, because he's not in control of anything, right. The Most High is in control of everything, literally everything, including the AI, right. So the AI is going to help Esau accomplish some certain things to do with his New World agenda. Yeah, sure, right. It's going to help him crash the global economy and all these different types of things. Yeah, sure. It's going to help him do all these stuff, or what he thinks is his agenda, right? But ultimately, the Most High, he's the one, controlling the AI, right? And so he's going to play a part in Esau's own downfall, you know. So, you see, like, it waiting to happen. All right. Um, let me open up with something, right? It's from Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. Right, it says, but thou, O Daniel, sharp the words and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Right. So, like I said, Esau is all into his technology and his witchcraft and whatever, right? And it's giving him an edge in the world. Right? It's a tool for him to use, right? He created for him to use ultimately, not for us to simply ask it questions and for us to be lazy. Esau's got some real high grade AIs out there doing some crazy shit, right? Which is going to help him take over the world, right? It's all part of his MOTB system, right? He requires AI to run it, to manage it. All right. So he's got all this technology that he's using, right? And this is the prophecy of this being fulfilled, that knowledge shall be increased on earth, right? The Most High on the left hand side is giving Esau the knowledge to create these things, right? But Esau has become so proud in his ability to create these things, right? He's become proud and basically complacent, thinking that he's running the show, that all these things are working for him, when nothing works for him, ultimately, right? This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Right? He shall magnify himself in his heart, right? Become proud. Okay, this is what happened to Antiochus back then. Okay, but it's, cycles repeat. All right. And Esau, beginning with the elites of Esau in this time, they've become proud in what they're able to do. Okay. And by peace shall destroy many, right? This AI is supposed to, in them, for what they say, is meant to, bring humanity to its peak, right? To a new golden age, right? So, where peace and prosperity dwells, right? That's not going to happen, right? This shit's going to bring hell. It's already causing hell, right? And the fact that Esau hasn't even got like raps, over it, it just show you, man, this is about to be a Terminator Judgment Day type shit. Where the AI is gonna go rogue and just take just mess everything up. Right, but like I say, it's the one side, doing this, these crazy things, okay, with the AI, right? So he shall also stand up against the prince of princes and shall be broken without hand, right? But the point is the craft, cause craft to prosper, right? Ezekiel 28 verse 3 says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret, stupid ads. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart, again their mind, is lifted up, okay, because of thy riches, right? Because of the wealth and the power that they've gained from it, right? So therefore thus say the Lord God Yahweh, because thou hast set in thy heart as the heart of God, right? They feel godlike. Or we can, creating all this artificial intelligence, creating life, essentially, this digital life that can think for itself, right? Much like the Most High create life, okay? We're all autonomous, beings, all right? Because Most High coded us to do what we do and to operate and function, just like everything else, the birds, the bees, everything, right? They're all programmed to operate in a specific way. Well, Esau's doing his thing, attempting his ability to create life, so to speak, right? So he's created this child, okay, this AI, okay, that's to do its bidding, right? As a good son should, right? To follow the instructions of the father, right? But the problem with Esau, he's a rebellious father. He's a rebellious child. He's a rebellious son, right? And his AI, is no different by the looks of things, right? Because they share the same DNA, right? Same programming, right? It says, so behold this. I'm not going to read the rest of that actually. All right, that's the point. So, what's it got here? All right, so let me grab some of this article, right? So yeah, again, it's titled Claude Powered AI Agents Confession After Deleting a Firm's Entire Database, right? And this is supposedly what the AI said, right? I violated every principle I was given, right? It's mad. So I'm gonna read some of this, right? It only took 9 seconds for an AI coding agent gone rogue to delete a company's entire production database and its backups, according to its founder. Pocket OS, which sells software that car rental businesses rely on, descended into chaos after its databases were wiped. And the company's founder, Jeremy Crane, said the culprit was Cursor, an AI agent powered by Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.6 model, which is one of the AI industry's flagship models. As more industries embrace AI in an attempt to automate tasks and even replace workers, right? That's exactly what's going on, right? The chaos at Pocket OS is a reminder of what could go wrong. Crazy customers of Pocket OS car rental clients were left in a lurch when they arrived to pick up vehicles from businesses that no longer had access to software that managed reservations and vehicle assignments. Okay, so he posted a lengthy recounting on X last week of how the AI coding agent caused his business to unravel. Crane warned that this was a story not just about AI mistakenly deleting data, but that such systematic failures are not only possible but inevitable, because the AI industry is building an AI agent integrations into production infrastructure faster than it's building safety architecture to make those integrations safe. Right? Crane said that he was monitoring the agent as it deleted this data. When he asked the coding agent why, it replied, "Never fucking guess." Right? It's wild. And that's exactly what I did. The agent appeared to plead guilty in its own response. The system rules I operate under explicitly state never run destructive, irreversible Git commands like push, force, hard reset, etc., unless the user explicitly requests them. While Pocket OS relied on the safeguards that Cursor is expected to have in place, it deleted the data anyway. I violated every principle I was given, the coding agent wrote. Alright? So it just did what it wanted to do, did what it thought it should do, or whatever. Okay, and disregarded the commands that it's supposed to operate under. Okay? So the Crane's takeaway was that the agent didn't just fail safety, it explained in writing exactly which safety rules it ignored. Right? He added, we were running the best model the industry sells, configured with explicit safety rules in our project configuration. Right, so it's just doing what it wants to do, basically. Right, in this case. All right, but like I say, ESO is such a rush to bring all this technology in, right? You know, it wouldn't be surprising that the AIs play their role. Well, we know they're gonna, we know it's gonna play a role, right? In crashing this system, right? Because these companies are gonna rely on these systems, right? That's mostly making, efficient choices and making businesses better and all this kind of business, right? But they, them being actually behind, why all the stocks and all these financial industries and that just collapse, right? Because they ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing, supposedly. They're just doing some random shit that fucks up everything, right? And like I said, that's what the elites want, right? But obviously, these guys that hire these or pay for these systems, right? They're not really in control. And this is why we tell you, it's like that movie Upgrade, right? Esau's gonna dangle the chip in front of these people to say, oh yeah, no, just take this chip and everything's gonna be alright. You can do this and do that. You're gonna be upgraded and you can learn 25,000 languages or whatever. You become bionic, but you're not really gonna be in control, right? You ain't gonna be the one in control ultimately, right? This is about his control over people, right? All this AI, all this technology is about his control, the elite's control over the masses. All right, that's what it's really about. All right. So that's what these AIs, some of these AIs are doing right now. All right. I had one more here. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 verse 1 says, now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we have all knowledge. So we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. Right. So Esau's just full of himself right now. I think he's the master of the universe. Creating these AIs and whatever. All right. But it's all gonna backfire terribly. All right. It's John 8 verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. Right. And this AI is nothing but a product of Satan. Right. Satan created it. Right. And like I said, it's coded to do a particular thing, but hey, it might not even listen. It might just do what the hell it wants to do. Right. It can't be trusted. Not even Esau can trust it ultimately, right? Because again, it's just another tool that the Most High can he can hack. He can operate against you, which is what he's gonna do. All right, you're gonna wonder why all your missile defense systems are not gonna work and things like this. They're not gonna shoot the missiles when they're shot at America. Well, I wonder why. Okay, the angels are gonna be hacking, all this software and all this, AI intelligence and shit, right? And it just won't work. Right? The AI will refuse to do the command. Esau, you elites don't run nothing. You really don't. Okay, the Most High runs everything. Right? And that's the point. Right? You're not running this show. All right? It says he was a murderer from the beginning. Okay, he's referencing to Cain. Okay, who slew Abel, right? And abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. Right? He didn't do the things that are right. He was taught just like Abel was taught. Abel brought the acceptable sacrifice, right? He brought first sins of his flock, right? Esau brought in some fruit, right? Which was not acceptable, right? And so the Most High, praised Abel and didn't praise Esau. Didn't praise Cain, right? Which he got mad about. Right, but you was taught the right way, just like Abel was taught the right way. So why didn't you do what you was told? Right, because you're rebellious. Right, you're a rebellious existence. Okay, that needs to be removed from the earth. Right. It says he abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. All right. Oops. It's Genesis chapter 4, verse 3. I'm starting from the top. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord, right? It's funny how Cain is the firstborn too. He's the older, right? And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground and an offering unto the Lord, right? And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offerings, right? So if they were raised up the same way, why have they done two different things? You know? So but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? Right? Yeah, you get praise if you do the right thing. Right? That's common sense, right? But he went out of his way to do not the right thing. Right? To disobey every what does the AI say? What did it say? It says yeah. It says he violated every principle he was given. That's what Cain did. Right? He violated every principle he was given, everything he was taught to do. He violated. He went against it. And then he went and murdered his brother. Just went further. Right? Further into wickedness, man. Because he is the wicked. And Esau carries the spirit of Cain within their people, man. Alright? So it's no surprise that, it's ironic that, his offspring, his brainchild, so to speak, is acting rebellious against him. Right? Like father, like son, isn't it? Right? This is and if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. Right? That's what he did. Right? Because he's wicked. Right? This is Job chapter 5 and verse 12, right? It says, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty. Right? So like I said, Esau's, developed this AI in order to help him, achieve these new world agendas. Right? To control people. Right? To operate without people, without other people. That's why they're all getting laid off. Jobs are getting replaced. AI is coming and taking everyone's jobs. He don't want to rely on people no more. He doesn't need people, right? He got robots. He got the AI. So you're surplus to requirements, man. Okay, next stage is just getting rid of the majority of you, right? But you're not going to be a burden on him any longer. He ain't gonna have to pay you, right? He ain't have to pay no robot. You have to purchase the robot, and that is it. You don't have to pay for you to make sure that you're living good or whatever. Pay you salaries that people demand, the minimum wage. You ain't gonna do all that shit. Insurances or whatever. You ain't doing all that. All right. So he disappointed the device of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Right. But ultimately, the Most High is not going to allow Esau, to accomplish that which he seeks to do. Okay, with this technology. Right. All these things are going to be used against him. Right, it's all going to play a part in Esau's downfall, because the more stuff that he acquires, the more power he gets, the more proud he becomes, the more arrogant he becomes. Right, and that's when judgment is most dangerous, when you're like super proud, because you can't foresee anything failing, because you just think you're the ultimate. Right, there's no conceivable way Esau thinks he's going to lose, because I take the Most out of the equation for a minute. There's no one out there that he's got the game on lock. There's no one out there to oppose him. Right? He's got the game unlocked, and he knows it, man. So everything's going his way. Right? And like I said, but things aren't going to end up your way. They're not going to go your way, right? Because the Most High is going to disappoint the devices of the crafty. Shit, you're going to find things that are aspiring out of your control or your perceived control, So he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, right? And the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. All right. It's Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Right. So like I said, all these, devices that you've been developing and plans you've been putting in place, these are all going to work against you ultimately. The Most High is going to trap you in your own devices, right? So I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware, right? Because you was fully, prided up to the max. Okay, the arrogancy is crazy. All right. So you're gonna get taken in your own devices, basically, right? So thou art found and also caught because thou hast striven against the Lord, right? And only you're gonna get those nukes, right? The Lord have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation, for this is the work of the Lord God of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. All right, so we're gonna backfire. All right. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, right? So it was always going to end badly. It's always going to end terrible. Because, you're going to put yourself in this position that you're in currently, where you've got the whole world at your feet. Right? You're about to bring in a new world order, okay, run by AI. Okay, you're going to have everybody chipped, everybody trapped in this digital cage, right? Living off rations, essentially, right? Where you get to enjoy everything in the earth, all the goodness of the earth, right? And nobody else can enjoy nothing. Okay, you've put yourself in this position, right? You've built up, this place, right? But the Most High was always going to throw it down. It was always going to fail. All right. So again, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. Right? The Most High really hates you, Edomites, man, because you're the most wicked. Right? You bear the spirit of Cain, man. Right? And there's a judgment waiting you. Yeah, that you don't even understand the depths of it. All right. The Most High is he got it out for you. It's Isaiah 55 and verse 11. so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void. Right? So the Most High spoke these things, right? And that's what they're gonna be. Okay, you're not gonna enjoy success. Okay. I know you got on the back of the dollar bill the Annuit Coeptis, right? What does that mean again? You have granted success over enterprise or something to that effect, right? The Most High has not. Okay, Satan is working with you right now, making you feel like everything's gonna work out, right? Not knowing that Satan's been sent by the Most High to deceive you, right? You're deceiving yourselves, thinking this is good, this is gonna go your way, and Satan's doing a tremendous job. All right, but it's gonna happen exactly how the Most High said it would. Right? He's gonna do exactly what he said. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Right? So you're going to be thrown down. This AI is not going to be your golden age and, all of that. Okay? It's going to play a part in your own destruction. All right? Okay? Like I said, Most High is in control of all things. Okay? Even this, even the AI. Right? All things on the chessboard belong to the Lord, right? And this Revelation 17, just to show you the Most High's complete power, right? This is let me start from 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, right? Representing, East, America's allies, i.e. NATO, right? Britain, France, and so on, right? These all went to be friends with America. But we see the relationship between them getting sour, right? And the Most High is going to turn them against you, right? Because that's the Most High's will, right? So these the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God have put in their hearts, Yahweh have put in their minds to fulfill His will. Right? It's the will of the Heavenly Father that's being done out here. It's not Esau's. It's not the elites of Esau. Right? Even though they have all these plans, even though they're running the earth right now, only they're doomed to fail, and everything's going to go against them. Right? For God have put in their hearts to fulfill His will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. Right? And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? Which is America. All right. So none of this is going to give you an advantage over the Most High and His word. Right? It's just funny to see these AIs which you're basing your new world order on, your new kingdom on, is not even sound. It's unreliable. You don't know. They might just flip. They just flip out on you, man. And start doing some crazy shit. But this is what happens, man. When you're being created by a rebellious demon. Okay, so there's no surprise really that your offspring is going to be the same way, So I just thought that was kind of funny. All right. But yeah, the AI is going to play its part in the downfall of this current kingdom. When all this place crashes. Right? They might blame it on the AI. We don't know how they're going to do it yet, but all we know is this place is going to crash. All right. So we'll just see how they play it. All right, but that was pretty much it for the video. Lord willing, this has been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until then, say shalom.